I got interested in forestry when I was a kid because my dad wanted to become a forester. And I had an interest in basket making back then, but I didn't have anybody who could teach me. My interest came from my grandparents who bought ash baskets, and they drove up through Maine and different areas selling those. When I drove that hatchet through here, it split along the grain. So you can work with black ash, you're always thinking of the grain. And even more so when we make material for the handles, when you're carving, you always have to keep the grain in mind. Black ash, compared to other ash trees and other ring porous trees, those pores are really big and thin-walled in comparison to the others. That's what makes this tree ideal for basket making, because they're really thin-walled and large, the rings separate very easily. This is the real valuable part, is the sapwood. It's whiter.
Oh, you do like the sapwood better?
Well, for certain baskets, like for the fancy basket makers, it's a nice light color. And the heartwood is usable for your larger baskets. After graduating from college, the first time in college, I worked in various jobs in construction, and I eventually worked as a logger for about 5 years. But in the meantime, one of the elders on my reservation started having basket making classes. And so that was, I think it was about a 6-month course where he walked us through and he taught us how to weave, and I made my first pack basket. And so his whole goal was to get more people weaving, because at the time we were losing basket makers. They were dying off, and a lot of younger people weren't making baskets anymore. And this is the form I'm going to use to start it. The 13 pieces, I got everything written down here so you can get something fairly consistent. Well, it works in is primarily it's a link to our past, and I'm hoping to keep it going, and hopefully I can teach others. It was important. People look at it now as art. But years ago, before Duluth packs and boxes and all these modern synthetic materials, that all people had to move stuff around in would have been baskets. And so they used a variety of basket materials. Well, I think you can speak for anybody, any culture that works with wood. You know, it really, there's a connection and there's a good feeling about working with your hands and taking a log like this or any other material and then making something from it. I met Dave at a show, and I was demonstrating basket making, and met Dave. He showed an interest in it, and he told me that he had some property with black ash.
You don't want to ruin your retirement.
Dave probably has close to 50% of the trees that would make good basket trees, and it really fit for what I needed for logs. So this is what's good about the wood culture, is you take something that's seemingly not very valuable, but it's valuable to somebody else. There's been a lot of issues in a way of people keeping some of these traditions going. Although I think making baskets is probably not as big an issue as speaking your language or carrying on your ceremonies, but certainly this makes you feel closer to the land. It makes you feel closer to my ancestors, knowing that I'm doing what they did 100, 200, 300, 400 years ago.